Understanding why a design is made a certain way is crucial to becoming an accomplished designer. If we can kind of break down why certain decisions were made, we can then apply that to our own design practice. And that way, design is a little bit like language. The better you understand it, the better you'll be able to speak it and express yourself. My name is John Mauriello. I'm a freelance industrial designer based in San Francisco and an adjunct professor at California College of the Arts. In this series, we're going to be dissecting a couple of the design decisions made by various companies for their products. Today, we'll be looking at Shinola, a high-end manufacturer of audio and many other accessories. For now, we'll focus only on one of their audio products, the Shinola Canfield headphones, because I feel this product in particular exemplifies the brand. This product was designed by Astro Studios in collaboration with Shinola. Shinola takes great pride in their factories being based in the US, and they try to show this in their products by making them beautifully crafted and built to withstand a lifetime of use. Astro probably went to great lengths to make sure that the headphones they designed for Shinola effectively communicated the brand's values of the preservation of craft and the beauty of industry. To start, let's get a first read of this product. Take a couple seconds to look and think of 3 to 5 words to describe what these headphones communicate to you. Pause the video if you need more time, but I'll give you about 5 seconds. Okay, ready? Here are the words that I picked: durable, craftsmanship, precision, classic, and luxury. Let's break it down. The first thing we'll look at is the silhouette. By just looking at the proportions and shapes, we can see what the designers were trying to express as a first impression or first read. The first thing I notice is that there's a lot of bulk where components meet. For example, the slide mechanism connection to the headband is relatively large. There are a lot of ways to make this connection point thinner and more streamlined. The designers probably made these connection points larger in order to make the object appear more sturdy and durable. The way that the slide connects to the ear cup is bulked up as well. They actually made the surface on the ear cup jut out to accommodate the slide mechanism. The ear cups themselves seem to be pretty substantial also. All of these things highlight durability. Intersection points are often where mechanical failure occurs and where products break. By making the points where the forms intersect larger, it highlights that this object has been built to last. Another thing I notice when I think about it more is that these headphones don't seem to have a big prominent gimbal like some other high-end headphones. Just so you know, this is what a gimbal is. While the connection points are highlighted by being made larger, the mechanisms themselves are relatively small when compared to some other headphones at a similar price point. This, to me, showcases a certain level of luxury and precision. It's much harder to make these rotating mechanical pieces work well when they're smaller. You'll also notice the 4 bumps that house the padding on the headband. These bumps, despite being made from leather and foam, are very evenly spaced and uniformly shaped for something so pliable. They could have easily made this one continuous piece of foam, but instead decided to break it up to create some visual interest and highlight precision. It's not easy to make each of these pieces so uniformly shaped and stitched down. So on the first read, the main things that I'm getting are durability and precision. Let's dig a little bit deeper and see what we get from a second read. I immediately notice a use of rich, highly textured materials. It's all leather and metal. No plastic to be seen anywhere really. This is all about luxury. These are high quality materials that will age well and still look great as they're worn in. This is also why these headphones look classic. While these headphones do use age-old materials, the actual proportions and designs of the headphones is not particularly vintage or traditional. Overall, the design feels inspired by traditional aesthetics through the use of materials, but it doesn't seem to overtly copy details from vintage products. In many ways, this timeless, classic aesthetic further communicates the durability of the design. A timeless classic design is what you want in a durable product that will outlast fleeting fashion trends. Another luxurious aspect is the use of contrast in materials. The brightly polished metal ring that goes around the perimeter of the ear cup provides a high level of contrast. The eye is naturally drawn to high contrast. Putting a glossy material in between matte metal and soft leather is an excellent way to achieve this. Even from a great distance, this shiny metal ring is clearly visible. This was also done with the front plate of the slide mechanism. This added luster creates another layer of luxury. It leads the eye around the design and creates some visual interest. If they hadn't done this, the headphones may have ended up looking a lot more utilitarian and functional. I also think it's interesting how they went with a more elliptical ear cup shape, presumably for ergonomics and comfort. However, they added a circular edge detail in the middle of the ear cup to make the shape feel a little bit more well balanced and stable, and perhaps feel a little bit more classic. Lastly, the intersection point where the slide mechanism meets the ear cup makes the design feel more luxurious as well. They chose to make a smooth, continuous surface that comes up to meet the slide mechanism rather than having the slide mechanism abruptly cut into the ear cup. This shows us a certain level of elegance and refinement. If the designers hadn't given this intersection point a smooth transition, the design, once again, might have felt a little bit more industrial and purely functional. The second reed reinforces what we get from the first reed, and also adds the dimension of timeless, classic luxury. Now that we've examined the general look and feel of the materials and proportions, we can dive into the details. One of the first details I noticed was that the designers chose to bring attention to artifacts of the product's construction and manufacturing. For example, the stitching around the edges of the headband is prominently featured. There are several other ways that the band could have been constructed to hide the stitching. Instead, they chose to showcase it. This goes back to Shinola's emphasis on craftsmanship. Rather than hide how the objects were made, they instead celebrate these building processes. Another example of this is on the part that holds the slide mechanism on the band. Rather than hiding the bolts or placing them in an inconspicuous place, the designers chose to feature them prominently on the front plate. They also visually highlighted the bolts by putting each of them inside of a deeper inset. The lip of this deep inset catches reflections and calls further attention to itself. If they wanted the bolts to be less conspicuous, they would have made them flush with the surface. There's also a contrast in material here. The polished chrome front plate contrasts starkly against the rest of the slide mechanism, which is matte. Once again, this is all to highlight the craftsmanship involved with how the object was built. The third reed gives the additional context of high craftsmanship, while also reinforcing the first and second reeds. So there you have it. Articulating the specifics of why a design communicates certain things is a great way to improve as a designer. By looking at other well-built products, we can see how they communicated certain ideas through design. Through looking at the first, second, and third reeds, we can see how the proportions, materials, and details can all work together to drive a clear message. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if there's a specific product or product category or brand that you'd like me to analyze, feel free to mention it in the comments.